Good morning, Flosstube. This is my video number 10. I know it's been a while, but it's been a rocky year, and sadly my husband passed away during heart surgery just after Easter. He's had a heart condition for his whole life, and so any surgery was always at risk, but this one sadly was his last, and we have had a wonderful 42 years together, which is probably more than I ever expected with his underlying condition, but he was a fighter. Nothing ever kept him down. Medical issues that would have knocked other people, he kept going. So he was a real warrior, and he was a real man of God. So I've been watching videos and doing cross-stitch and knitting and things in the last few weeks. And I've gone down a little bit of a rabbit hole with the slow stitching, so you may have seen another video pop up just before this one about slow stitching. I'm not giving up my cross stitch, but I just felt like I wanted to have a bit of fun with that as well, and I thought, well, since I've done that one, I better do one back on cross stitch. How often I'll get these done at the moment, I don't know. We're still sorting things out, but we'll work through it. So I just thought I'd like to show you a few things I have done. There's been quite a few stitch alongs that have caught my attention, and quite a bit of knitting. So the first thing I would like to show you is a kit from Avalia Designs. Someone was talking about it and I knew I had the kit, so this is the pattern, and it's just going to be a little table mat, I think, or I might make it into a project bag. There's nothing like a good project bag for some cross stitch. I love the linen this came with. It's from Avalia's actual fabric lines. The threads are just DMC. And I kept forgetting where the top was, so I finally managed to mark it, because you pick this up thing after a while and I couldn't remember where I'd done. So this is I'm really enjoying this. It's very Mediterranean style. Threads everywhere. Oh, now I've just unthreaded the needle trying to get rid of that black thread, but never mind. So that's where that's at. And I keep picking it up and thinking, I'll just finish this, and then I'll do a bit, and then something else will catch my attention. So stitch alongs. Little did I know how much this stitch along was going to feature in today's one here this year. This was called Perseverance, which strangely enough was sort of my word of the year right back at the beginning, and has obviously proved to be very apt. I'm way behind, but getting it out to show the video, I'm thinking I really must get it out and work on it again, because I really do like it. It's going to be long. So this is from Tempting Tangles, and I'm just using the DMC, and I think this is Belfast, 32 count Belfast. So that's that stitch along. I'm not quite sure what part that's up to. A couple of years ago, Our Forest Embroidery did a Alice in Wonderland stitch along, and I have a bit of an Alice in Wonderland thing, and I have an Alice in Wonderland box, which I have been threatening to show you guys ever since I started and just haven't got round to it. But I found it halfway through the stitch along, and I've started it, but I haven't got too far with it. And then this year they came up with Treasure Island, and I thought, well, since I did the other one and I was really enjoying it, let's do one from the beginning. So this is my Treasure Island. So it started with the Treasure Island in the middle at the top, and that sort of banner. And then we had the inn, and then we had the pirate ship and the treasure. And then we had Jack Hawkins, and then Long John Silver. And this last one is Dr. Livesey down here, and can't remember the pirate's name on the other side. So this comes out every 2 weeks. So the next part will come out Friday of this week, I think. And I'm really enjoying it. And I'm doing it on I think it's 36 count linen. I can't remember which particular one. And I'm doing it 1/2, and I'm really enjoying stitching 1/2. So a lot of my projects are turning into 1/2. So I'm really enjoying that. That's got quite a way to go. So we're probably probably hit the halfway mark of the fabric, not the stitch along. So that's been very enjoyable to do. That lives in, where have I done with it? That lives in this bag that my friend Jenny made for me. It folds up in there quite nicely. So you can see they're just DMC threads. Of course, it would be so much fun at some point to actually purchase some of the Owl Forest embroidery threads, but I haven't got to that point yet. So for some reason, I then wanted to pull out this stitch along that was from, gone completely blank, Caterpillar cross stitch, and I think she did 4 seasons. So this is the winter one, and I wasn't looking ahead. I knew I was behind, and I was madly working and I was catching up, and I think, oh, this is really good. All I've got to do is the trunk. Well, there's another 3 parts yet, and quite a bit of stitching, and a fun deer at the bottom. So this is the top of the tree, and then it becomes a trunk, and then there's some things sitting beside it. So I might get this out again too, but I was really enjoying working on that until I realised I wasn't nearly close enough to the end. Somewhere, what did I do with my... Oh, here it is. Sorry. So this is my July monthly challenge. So, which was Hippo. So H was for Jack Hawkins, which was the what you would call it, Treasure Island stitch along. I was for Whilst Iris Laps Lucy Wilson, which I have actually finished and put away somewhere, so I'll have to show you that next time. So that was a finish, and that was the aim. Then P was supposed to be Patchwork Coat of the Cottage Garden Sampler Collector Series from this year, The Shepherd for the Snowman, and I was supposed to have started and finished that for Stitch Camp for July, but I haven't even started it. And the O was for Over One, because on the Lucy Wilson one there was Over One, and I finished that. Oh, and my theme, the safari theme, was Treasure Island, and I finished part 5 of that, which was that. So apart from the piece I didn't start or finish, I didn't do too badly in July, I felt. August, we're going to have to do some planning. It's already August. So I was talking about Stitch Camp. This is actually the one I did for June, which had to have a bird in it. And this is from Heart and Hand. And I think this might even be 40 count. It's a Zweigart, you can see. And there's my little birds. And I really enjoyed doing this, and I've given the pattern to Jenny because she was going to stitch on it. I think she was going to use it for July, but I don't think she's done too well in July Stitch Camp either. And then when I went down this whole rabbit hole of the slow stitching, this year's prompts, or whatever, it's based on treasure hunt. So it's looking through your fabric treasures and things, and they do a prompt each couple of weeks. And the first prompt was monograms, and I remembered I had this pattern book, which is Circus pattern book, and I can't remember the lady's name. If you look on Amazon, she's actually got a book that's got 3 alphabets in it, and I'm sorry, I can't remember. I'm just getting this video done just to get it done, so I didn't quite pull everything out I should have. But I muted down the colours because it was very circus bright colours, so I laid them all out, and then I laid out my DMCs underneath. And these just happen to be my favourite DMC kind of colours, 931 and the muted dusty colours. Instead of a black, I did this dark grey brown, and this is actually a grey fabric. It's 18 count. I got this from Daisy Chain Stitchery. If you're here in Australia, she had a bit of a sale, and I picked this piece up just because I thought it was fun. It's cut off here because it's going to be stitched to a project bag, which will have lots of layers of lace and other fabrics and things on it, so that should be a bit of fun. But I just love, I couldn't put this down. which is partly why the snowman never got started and finished, because I just kept stitching on this. So I've had a lot of fun with that one. I'm pretty sure I've done quite a few other things, but as I said, I just thought I'd get some current stuff out and going and get a video up and try and get back into this a bit. So I've done some knitting, so I thought I'd show you some knitting. You know how I love knitting animals. So a lady named Susan B. Anderson, if you're knitters, you look up Susan B. Anderson on Ravelry and you'll find all her patterns. She has this really nasty habit of putting up a video on Instagram, and she shows you the animal and it's got no clothes on and she dresses it and she does this in her hands, and you go, oh, I have to knit that. So over to Ravelry you go and buy a pattern. And a friend of mine and I, Jenny and I, have been knitting these. So we knitted a bear. I can't remember what the other one was. This is Froggy. He's so cool with his little cardigan and I've just used leftovers fabric, yarn. Fortunately, I have green, so I had a green frog. So I've done him, and then it's Mary Jane Tea Rooms. That's not this one. It's this one. Mary Jane Tea Rooms has these cute little mice, so I had to make one of those. So cute little bows. So that was fun. And then after that, the next Susan B. Anderson one comes out, and I call these jelly babies. I think it's called First Doll or something. I call them jelly babies because to me they look like those jelly baby lollies. So this one will go to charity. It'll be a charity. There's a group here where you all sponsor and they want kids things. So that one will go to the kids. Probably should give the mouse to the kids too, but I'm not quite ready to give that away yet. And then the socks. So Stephen West is doing sock knitting, and he released 2 free patterns to get us all mad on socks. So this is my leftovers, same yarns as these leftovers, 8 ply. And I just wear these as slippers, and they're really lovely. They're really quick to knit. So he released this, and then there was a 4 ply one, and I've actually made one in leftover 4 ply that I've sent to my stepmother because she likes teal colours, so they've gone. And I believe he was getting us all hyped up because he had a knit along going, and so the knit along has just wrapped up, and here's my sock, and I've done 2/3 of the other one. So you start up here and you get this bit of pattern, and like a cross stitch mystery, then you get this bit. This is the next week you get a bit of, and then this here is going into the heel turn, and then you got the last bit, which was this section. So it's all similar but different, and I thoroughly enjoyed doing this. And the other one I am just down to doing the gusset. I'm about to here, so I've only got this much to do on the other one. And he has a right and left, so they mirror. I won't remember which sock to put on which foot. It won't really matter. They'll mirror. So that's been fun. And then at the moment I'm actually knitting a cardigan that I have had on the go since last year. It's Melanie Berg cardigan. I think it's called the Desperate Housewife cardigan. It's all stripes. You can see I sort of like stripes. Anyway, I've just got the sleeves to do on that, and it's too big and awkward, so I'll show you when I finish it. Is that all I've got here? Yes. So that's pretty much all I've been doing. I've been doing a tiny bit of sewing, not much, and then as I said, I've gone down this rabbit hole on the slow stitching, but I'll amalgamate the two. So August, I meant to print off the theme and the acrostic forest for Robin, and the theme is roots, I think. So I'm going to have a little think, go through my projects and see what I have that might fit those themes. I've also been having a little bit of play because Michelle, Mama Loves You GB, did a whole cross-stitch video on Santas and talked about leisure arts, and behind me here, where are they? You can't see them. They're there. Hold on, let me do this. See that stack of magazines horizontal? That's my Stony Creek and my For the Love of Cross Stitch Leisure Arts patterns, and I knew the owl showed with the Santa is in one of those, so I found that. So there might be something in there that I might start maybe, but I'm a bit of a finishing bug. The other project I want to do is tidy up all this mess up here, because this is all my projects, and this here is kitted projects. Well, most of them are only partially kitted. They might have fabric, might be just a pattern, but I would like to sort all that out and have a go at getting that bit more organised. I have sort outs every now and again, and I'll sort them all into full coverage and something else and something else. Well, this time I'm thinking I might just go alphabetical and put them all. And no, there won't be a won't be a whip parade. I'm sorry, I just not yet. One day maybe, but I might be able to show you my whole list. I'll type it up on the computer and I'll show you my list maybe. I have no idea how many whips there are up there. Quite a few. That green bag has my Long Dog Death by Cross Stitch in it, which is in greens. And that red box has the Cardinal Cottage full coverage that I'm doing the storybook version of that Caroline talks about. So I'm gradually sorting through a lot of stuff, and at the moment I am sitting in the middle of a mess, but I've got a video done. I'm going to get it up and we'll just see what happens in the weeks to come. But thank you all of you who do your videos. I just love watching them all. It's been very helpful in the past few weeks to be able to just switch on a video and just sort of zone out for a little bit. So thank you all very much, and I'll be back at some point. Bye.